Okay, are we gonna do this for realsies now?
Go ahead.
Welcome, guys, to Mailbox Thursday. We're both grouchy today.
It's very tense in here right now.
And it's hot. All over the world. I hate it.
I'm sweating. It's gross. I'm tired of this.
Oh, gosh.
It rained all day and didn't break the humidity even a bit.
It made it worse. Anyways, guys, seriously, though, welcome to another episode of Mailbox Thursdays, where we answer your guys' questions that you email into us.
For the 5th time trying this session.
Yeah, don't mention it. Yeah, this is like the 5th take. Anyways, we're not going to mention that anyways today because, we got to continue on because I got to go out for coffee with my parents because I'm a lovely, lovely child to them. No, I'm not. They hate me. But
no, they don't.
I just want to let you guys know that we are not considered professionals in any way, shape, or form.
It's just opinion. Don't take it.
You guys have opinions too.
Super seriously.
And if you guys want to, dispute like mature people.
Yeah, don't just say, you guys are stupid and don't know what you're talking about, because that's lame.
And mean. Lame and mean.
Rude.
You are lean.
Lean.
Anyways. Again, we're not professionals, so don't take us seriously. Well, you can take us seriously because, we're a chip off the old block who've seen a couple rodeos and all that jazz. I don't know.
What even?
But our first question comes in from Keaton. It says, I'm having a hard time coping with a very sad thing lately. My mother's friend's father is just about to pass away. I didn't think it would affect me this much, but it has. This is the first time that I've ever had someone that I know pass, and it's just really taken a toll on me. I'm starting to become extremely worried about death. I also can't sleep because he's the only thing that I can think of. I need help coping with this. Can you guys offer me some help? So, I've dealt with this in the past before, except there's actually like immediate family as my grandpa. I understand where you're coming from. It's, it's not a really pretty thing to think about or anything like that. I mean, death is something that, I still worry about and everything. So, I don't know. The best thing to do is just, to me, what happened was, obviously I was going to be sad because my grandpa was going to pass away. But for me, I was more worried about, like, my family and that because, you don't know how they're going to cope because you're not them. And they might cope with it in a way that you're not even prepared for. So for me, that was the biggest worry. So what I did was, the best thing is try and be there for, your mother and your friends there and all that. Because, they're I don't know how to explain it. Like, they will really appreciate it when that moment comes. And I know how it feels, like I said. And honestly, one of the best things that I've done in the past, and I still do it, is, to take my mind off of everything when I'm trying to sleep and my mind's like running all over the place and I'm thinking about bad stuff is, just if you have like a phone or something, fall asleep listening to YouTube, fall asleep listening to music, just something to take your mind off it. Because, I mean, if you're not sleeping and you're only getting like 1 or 2 hours of sleep a day, it's just going to make things worse. And you're just going to continuously kind of spiral into a further hole and, you just won't be able to cope with it when you're extremely exhausted and all that.
Yeah, that's kind of why I wanted Alex to answer first, just because, like, my grandpa's in a hospital right now, and I'm not super close with him, so for me, emotionally, it's not about grandpa not doing well, it's all about, like, my mom not handling it very well. So I know she's gonna take it super hard, and I know, like, and I've been worrying about that, and, like, I don't ever have a problem falling asleep, really. For me, it's always, like, I don't get restful sleep once I sleep, so, like, when I'm stressing, so Alex's idea is good. If you're the type who can actually fall asleep listening to things, that's always a good thing. Like, for myself, I'm an expert master at not thinking about things I don't want to think about when I'm going to bed.
Yeah, I'm jealous you could fall asleep like literally in a minute.
I had to train myself into that, by the way. It wasn't easy. It took me a few years to learn how to do it, but I'm very good at not thinking about bad things before sleeping. Doesn't mean it won't interrupt your sleep if you're still like anxious and, feeling crap and all that. But at least, even if you're lying down for 8 hours a night and getting some sleep, like a couple of hours, it's better than running on nothing. And like, when it comes to like thinking about death, like, I haven't really thought about death since I was really young, to be quite honest. And like, it of course freaked me right out and all that, because you're like, oh god, you don't want to die and everything.
Well, yeah, death is a scary thing, and I don't know.
Because nobody knows what happens after, so
it's
not exactly just some like given thing. It's like, oh yeah, they're gonna die and this is gonna happen. I mean, it's the unknown of what happens, and then also never seeing them. And like, even if you're not super close with those people, it's still shocking,
And don't think that you're weird because you're emotional about this. You're a human being. We all have feelings like this, and I don't know. The best advice I can give is, try not to worry about it. Like, it's cliche, but you just got to do your best to not think about it, because all you're gonna do is like just worry yourself even more. You're gonna be fearful of doing certain things because you're afraid of dying and all that. Just you can't think about that. Otherwise, that fear will like rule your life. And
I wouldn't say don't think about it. Well, I would say let yourself think about it for a bit, but don't think about it all the time. Well, that's what I mean.
Like, obviously, you're like, okay, death, bye-bye.
Well, I just want to make sure that people understand what we're saying is don't, like, think about it as much as you need to and dissect it and, try and figure out what exactly is making you freaked out the most, But then once you're done going through it, maybe compartmentalizing if you need to, you need to just not think about it. You can't let it take over your whole life and saturate everything that you're thinking about, because it will just make you incredibly anxious and incredibly upset. Like, Alex is right. Like, once you're done your allotted time slot of thinking about it each day, you have to stop, because you have other things in your life that are going on, and you got to be there for the people who are going to take it even harder. So,
and I guess one more thing that I would suggest is, I just blanked out. That's weird. Oh, God.
Hey, that happens sometimes when you read the questions to me. I understand.
Oh, God. I seriously just blanked out. That makes me feel really silly. Okay, I just took a quick minute break just to retrace?
Backtrack your thoughts?
Anyways.
Whatever.
I don't know about you, but if I'm, like, in these situations, I sometimes, like, I always hold back tears. Let yourself cry, man.
Yeah, let it out. You're stressed out. Tears are there to help you release stress and anxiety and all the bad feels.
You'll feel amazing afterwards.
Yeah, crying's nothing to be ashamed of. It's a natural biological response to stress, and you need it to make yourself feel better. So cry.
So yeah, just try not to worry about it. Be there for your mom and friends and all that. Then just it sucks, but time will heal as well. So.
Yep, just do what you can.
Anyways, our next question comes from Ellie. Oh God, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Hi, Alex and Andrea. This is an issue I've had to deal with for just over a year now, and I'd really appreciate your thoughts, advice on the matter, as you always give such good advice to many others. No, we don't. Basically, ever since I was a baby, I've had eczema. Is it eczema or eczema?
Oh God, I don't know. I always say eczema, so...
I say eczema.
Well, whatever. We'll just make it a really confusing video then.
Which is a common skin condition that caused me to get very itchy everywhere and huge rashes that are very inflamed. I'm very self-conscious about it and try to cover the eczema on my legs and leggings with leggings and tights. However, recently a girl in my class has been tweeting about it, saying things like, haha, you have a skin disease, a direct quote, and generally trying to get everyone else to focus on it as well. In my opinion, I think genetic diseases / disorders shouldn't be laughed at all, as a person can't help having the problem and could happen to anyone. If you could share your thoughts on the matter, I'd be so thankful. Ellie.
Well, first of all, those people are assholes. Let's just get that out there right now, because anyone laughing at anybody for anything is stupid and ridiculous, and they are terrible people for being jerks. Second of all, eczema. My mom has eczema, I believe. And it's totally not fun. I had a couple friends in high school who had it as well. And it's like, it's one of those things, it's like, it can be horribly embarrassing because, kids are stupid and make fun of people for every little thing. And then, especially if you're getting on your face in places that people can see, it's tough. I don't know if you're finding anything to deal with it. Some people use prescription stuff. Sometimes it's a change of diet because like sometimes bad eating can exacerbate it and everything.
Well, I'd assume that you've been to the doctor though. Like, if not, you can always go there. They have like creams and everything that help with like the inflammation of it and the itchiness of it.
Yeah, or if you don't go to the doctor and you want something over the counter, try for stuff that doesn't have a lot of like fake shitty chemicals in it because that also can exacerbate it quite a bit. So.
And honestly, what this girl is doing is just extremely, extremely immature to me. And I guess the way you could deal with it is you can try one-on-one asking her to stop because it might sound bad, but a lot of people will they kind of back down and everything when you actually approach them one-on-one, because everyone can be tough online even though you may or not know them. So, and if that doesn't work, you could always talk with your schools, with your teacher or your parents, and see what they can do, because I mean, like you said, you're in school. I don't know how old you are, so
well here, I will tell you a quick story. I have hyperhidrosis. I don't know if anybody knows what that is, but it's basically a sweating condition where you sweat too much. Some people get it just on their hands, some people get it on their feet, some people their pits, whatever, right? I have it over my entire body except for not my feet, basically, and not my hands, really. But I had it, like, crazy, and I like, sweat even if I'm just sitting there doing nothing. It is a super big problem. And usually most like diseases and stuff like this and like genetic stuff or just whatever, like hyperhidrosis and eczema, they are worse when you're going through puberty. So it will get better, there's that, but that's not my point. Anyways, I used to sweat a lot. It was disgusting. I would sweat all the time and it was so gross and I was so incredibly embarrassed about it. It was horrendous because no one else was sitting there just pouring sweat. Like, I'd sit there and it just pour down me, like literally like droplets. I could see them form and roll down my skin. It was horrible. And so of course I got made fun of all the time. In gym class, I'd be red in the face and just sweating like crazy. People make fun of me. People make fun of me in the classroom and everything because kids are cruel and horrible. And so basically, I didn't know what was wrong with me. I thought it was just because like I was a fat slob, but it turns out that hyperhidrosis is a condition that actually a lot of people get. And it's just an embarrassing condition, and there's things you can do about it. So once I knew that it was an actual disorder, I just started shoving it in people's faces. What, you're gonna make fun of me for having a disorder that I cannot help when I absolutely cannot help the fact that I sweat this much, and it's something that is a problem for me in my day-to-day life, and thousands of people have it, and you're just gonna make fun of me? Wow, that's really mature of you.
Say it out loud. They'll get embarrassed.
Say it out loud in the middle of as many people as you can. I've done that a couple of times now, and honest to God, that's the... I think we covered this before with some bullying, but like that's the... Oh, right, it was harassment. The easiest way to get someone to leave you alone is...
Be vocal.
Yeah, be vocal about it and humiliate them. Humiliate them for being an asshole.
Because no one wants to be labeled as an asshole, especially for making fun of someone that they can't help with stuff like that.
People don't use the words, but it's a lack of empathy that these people have, and they need to be called out on it because they need to know what they're doing is not right. Like, you can't just... Oh, I mean, you can, but it's really not very good of you as a human being to just make fun of people for no reason. And honestly, teenagers are capable of being perfectly nice, so there's no excuse for being such an asshole.
And if not, kids are cruel. You'll grow up.
Yeah, kids are cruel.
And not to sound mean,
It'll get better after puberty, and you'll never have to see them again anyways. So, good luck, though, and just, tell them to go to hell.
Anyways, our next question comes in from Steven. He says, "Hi, Alex, Andrea. I'm 16, living with my granny and my granny and granddad's house with my mom. 3 months ago, my mom divorced my dad due to personal feelings. I was forced to move out of my old house and separated from my brother and my dad. For the past 7 days, I was on holiday, and I noticed my mom was using her phone to text a lot. I looked over and saw who she was texting, but when I asked her, she told me she was texting my granny. I was suspicious something was happening several weeks before holidays, so I wanted to find out what it was. I looked through a text with this person. I saw she was sending inappropriate text messages, which I find them uncomfortable to even think about. Now that I'm home from the holidays, I've noticed she is sneaking out of night. She isn't aware that I know about any of this. I can't talk to anybody else about it because it would destroy my dad if I told him about it. My brother doesn't know about it either. Is it just me who thinks it's completely wrong to be sleeping with someone 3 months after ending a 20-year marriage? Should I confront my mom about this? Should I tell my dad about the whole situation? Thanks, Steven.
Okay, I chose this one for a variety of reasons. Okay, first of all, you have no idea why your parent, like, I'm sure you know why your parents probably split up, but you have absolutely no idea what the feelings were on either side of the marriage before they split up. Okay, and I doubt that sort of stuff is super, super hard to talk about, and I doubt your mom has talked to you about it. But what you need to do here is talk to your mom. Not a confrontation.
Yeah, don't say you were like reading her text or anything.
Definitely. Also, reading your mom's text, that is a huge invasion of privacy. You should respect her boundaries. If you expect your mom to respect your boundaries, you have to respect hers. So going through her phone was not a very cool thing to do. I understand that you're upset and you're freaking out about it and everything, but you still have to have some respect for your mom there, okay? But what you got to do is you got to talk to your mom, because it's clearly upsetting you, okay? This sort of situation, like, you never know. Like, it really sucks to have to try and think. Like, Alex obviously doesn't know what this is like, but my parents split up when I was younger, and it's tough. I mean, generally, people split up because they're not happy together. I mean, it doesn't mean they don't love you, and it doesn't mean they don't love your brothers and sisters, and it doesn't mean they don't care about each other as well. It just means, as lovers, they're not compatible, or it's just not working out, you know? And most of the time, it's for the best when parents split up, okay? So whether or not it was sort of more one-sided or not, you know, you can't just look at this situation and see your mom maybe talking to someone else and maybe seeing someone else so soon after the marriage, because you don't know what your mom's feelings are on this whole thing. For your mom,
or were even in the relationship.
Yeah, or you don't even know. Like maybe if I assume by inappropriate text messages that they're either flirting or they may be seeing each other, but you don't know for your mom how long ago the marriage actually ended. Just because they get divorced doesn't mean the marriage has actually been a marriage.
Yeah, sometimes the like, obviously the mother and father try and stay together just for the kids, so, you know, it could have ended a long time ago before you even knew about it, which, you know, it sucks to hear that, but, you know, in this type of situation, that's just things you gotta think about. And, you know, your mom's single, so she wants to have some fun, I assume, too, but...
Well, yeah, I mean, like, for your mom, like, what happens, like, you gotta think about this. What if your mom and dad were doing good, but for, like, the past couple years, your mom hasn't been feeling the same about your dad anymore as she used to? And, like, she's been trying and trying and trying to make it work, but even though she's not feeling the same, and it just makes them miserable, right? The point of a divorce is so that your parents don't kill each other, for one thing. They don't make each other absolutely miserable, because if your parents are unhappy, you're going to be unhappy. So usually with divorce, they separate and then they can find happiness outside of each other. And while it hurts because you're not all together, I mean, you all can still love each other and care about each other and take care of each other, but it just, you know, for your parents it might be for different people. So for your mom, it's probably just the fact that for her it ended maybe a little bit, you know, longer ago than it did for your dad, and it's quite possible that it's easier for her to start feeling that way about someone else so soon because she's more ready for it emotionally.
And honestly, I wouldn't tell your dad about it, or the brother.
No. Don't do that.
Leave that up to your mom to decide whether or not to say that, because, like,
it's your mom's relationship.
Yeah, you kind of did cross the line of you know, just invading privacy there, and it really is up to her whether or not she wants to tell your dad. I know it sucks, but, you know, you just got to respect that as well. So
yeah, and it's not like you're keeping it a secret from him anyways. I mean, if your dad shouldn't be asking you about it in the first place, if he's asking, that's also...
It's none of his business.
It's none of his business, okay? And he's also invading her privacy and abusing the relationship between the two of you to ask about your mom, okay? So, like, there is certain boundaries now within the relationship that he should also stick to. So, but if you think that it is gonna, like, regardless, you shouldn't tell your dad, but especially if you think it's gonna hurt him, don't tell him. Because I think the reason your mom is being so secretive is because she probably doesn't want to hurt him as well, or anybody else.
Or probably even you at that matter, I mean.
Yeah, I mean, she doesn't want to freak out her own kids or freak out her ex, you know? Like, she's probably just found something that makes her happy, and she's keeping it on the down low for you guys, which is pretty good of her to, you know, to try and ease everybody into it.
And like I said, you know, she's probably just wanting to go out and have some fun, and just she obviously doesn't want to hurt you, so you know, just
Yeah, but talk to her if you want. Like, you don't have to keep it a secret if you know about it and everything. Talk to her. I'm sure she will talk to you.
and again, just don't say you read her text. That she might not trust you with certain things after that. But
if you have to, say you accidentally saw her text. Say you picked up her phone and saw the text and you're like, what is this? But don't tell her you're going through it.
What is this?
What?
Anyways, guys, that is all we have for this week. If you guys want to send us your emails, definitely feel free to send us an email at askpauseunpause@gmail.com. And in the subject line, definitely, otherwise we delete stuff, definitely leave in Mailbox Thursday in the subject line.
Or if you have some epic questions, title it AAA Mondays, because we like those, especially if they're super epic. Yep.
And I say that because we do get a lot of spam, because a lot of people know the email address, and that, so we typically delete everything if they're not labeled.
Yeah, I don't know if that email from that Scandinavian prince was legit or not, but I did send out some credit card information. Hope that's not a problem.
Anyways, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this, and if you guys have something to add along to what we had to say there, definitely feel free to leave that in the comments below there as well. So description
be
below.
Nice, keep fit, and have fun.
Please try and be civil, guys. Seriously, don't make Pause and Andrea sad. Pause and Pause that sad. You're gonna make us cry.
I cry really easily, guys, so you know.
Anyways, guys, hope you guys enjoyed this week's episode, and we shall see you guys next Thursday. Peace out, Girl Scouts. Well, that's AAA Monday, you idiot.